All right, let's do it. We are here. We are here. All right. Girl, I'm over here playing double dutch. Let me get my mug. This is what all the things out of our mug. Right. Thank y'all for being so patient. All right, DJ, cut that music down. Hey, let's cut that music down a little bit. All right, so get into it. Thank you all so much for coming by. I really appreciate you. Dating apps unveiled a trans and male perspective, the real talk on the beef sector and Queen City. In this thought provoking video, we explore the complex dynamics surrounding the perception of sexual identity among Black homosexual men in the United States, particularly their performances for the term DL over gay, which is often viewed as a white coded label. We also delve into the reactions of developing nations, especially in Africa, to Western pressures for more inclusive LGBT policies. Many leaders and citizens perceive these demands as a form of cultural imperialism that conflicts with their traditional values. Join us as we analyze whether these perspectives indicate a shared view of Western ideals as predominantly white, or if the unique context of these societies create significant difference in understanding. Now, today we do have a special guest. He is actually going to be the mystery man today. This is a longtime friend. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome him to the show.
Okay.
Hey, mystery man.
What's up? How you doing?
So, I'm Will, and thank you for taking out the time to come by.
Mhm.
Um, you are really appreciated. So, um, we're here to just pretty much simply talk about gentlemen in the community. Um, there's a situation that's going on with an app called Grinder,
Well,
and a particular individual was banned from the app. And so, if you know anything about Grinder or wherever you want to start, um, just inform the people of kind of like who you are and how you are a part of the community.
okay. Talking with me? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you.
Well, I'm not really familiar with Grindr. I don't use dating apps.
Oh,
So, no.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's okay, so I'll give my perspective on Grinder, and then we could just talk about
Well,
different
you remember
ways.
BGC, right? You
Say
remember
what?
that? BGC Live?
Yes, BGC
Yeah.
Live.
I used to use that a lot, some years back. And
Oh,
it was pretty successful.
so what is BGC for the people?
It was I think they called it Black Gay Chat. I think that's what it was. And it was real popular. I don't know if it's still around or not, but I used to use it all the time. So yeah, I met a lot of people on that. But with Grinder and some of the other stuff, I haven't been familiar with. But BGC was popping. I don't know if it's still around or not, but I know it was.
Yeah.
yeah. So, and whatever city you was in, you could pop it up, and you can meet that person in that city, and So I guess I imagine all the apps are the same now. Yeah.
Okay, so when you were on the app,
hmm
what first of all, how did you identify on the app? And then what were you looking for on the app? Like who were you if and even if you did hook up with somebody, what are the types of people that you hooked up with?
I mean, I identified as just male, straight male, and I was when I was it was trans women. I was dating off of there. So and the kind of women. I mean, they were. I know, they were all cool. Really, they were all cool. You know, and so yeah, it was pretty good. So I didn't have any issues with anything. Uh, you know, but I met some. Matter of fact, I met some really good people that I still stay in contact with to this day.
Yeah. So
hmm
let me ask you this. Being that you are a black man, how do you identify now? Like current day, like how do you identify and where do you fit in the community?
I don't know. But like I said, well, identify. Like I said, it's just a straight male, and I well, had a company. I don't really use it that much anymore, called Trans Entertainment Network. And what it was a management company for trans artists and models. And so I worked with a lot of trans artists, a lot of trans models. Um, so that's how identify with the community. I get them shows, book them events, things like that. Um, and I'm still very active in the community. I have a company now called Beauty by 10 Cosmetics, and it's kind of a spinoff, the 10 Trans Entertainment Network. And that was created because that was just a dream I had for years to run a cosmetics company. And I worked with Fashion Fair Cosmetics at one time, and so once the opportunity came for me to start this company, and so basically what I do, all my models are 99% of my models are all trans that model my products, and we're really active in the community. I work with a lot of organizations, the Ghost Project in Brooklyn, McKinsey Project in Florida. So it's just various uh, organizations, and we provide makeup services for their events. We do charitable stuff. We donate products, as well. So I'm real active in the community with the products.
Right. Okay, so some people might want to say, well, you work around a lot of trans
Mhm.
women. Well, do you date trans women?
Exclusively, yeah. This is all the only women I date is trans women. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, as a black, straight identified male that dates trans women, have you faced any backlash or were there any maybe experiences while dating them where there was maybe discrimination or anything like that that you could speak of if it did happen?
Um, I had one incident last year, and what I was doing, I had a photographer that he was going to be doing some product shots with the models, and I had trans models, and we were set to do some product shots with them. Um, so the guy that booked it with me, the owner of the studio, he had to go out of town. So he had his one of his partners. He said, "Hey, look, my one of my partners can actually do the shooting. He's just as good as me and everything." And so when I get to the studio, where everything was cool, and he said, "Hey, when you get your model set up, we can get started." As soon as he seen the trans girls, he just said, "Oh no, I can't do this. I don't fuck around like that. Nah, I you know, but I'm saying, but you don't. It has nothing to do with you. I mean, we were paying for a service for photography. And then he went into his morals and all this kind of stuff. And, a man's supposed to be a man. So he just completely didn't do the shoot. He refused. So it was a kind of a jolt to the girls too, you know. But that was one of the biggest in your face discriminations I ever had with that. But other than that, I can't really think anything else too much. You know, I have never been um, what they call down low, so I
Well,
never,
when you
go
speak
ahead.
about down low, what is down low to you? What does that mean to you?
To me, it's a person that has a fetish with trans women, but he's not open about it. It's a secret. Another side of his life. Usually, the guys I know that are like that are married, got girlfriends, and then there's a fetish to them on the side, you know, and you know they live in this kind of fear, I think, of getting caught, but it's a fetish they have, and it's something that I believe it's the thing is that's how a lot of lives get ruined because you're not living your truth. So you marry for image, you date a girl for image for your friends and your family, and then but you're not really happy in that situation, and you wish you could be open in a relationship with a trans woman. So that's my thing of down low, you know, and I just never been that there. So what I'm saying is, so if a down low guy, he's very seldom will even go in public with a trans girl. It'll be like if they out, he's very scared. He doesn't want to be seen. You know, that kind of thing. And so you live in this kind of fear, I think. And so a couple guys I know, because I get people hitting me up all the time asking me how do I do it. And my thing is, what do what? Um, I just never hid it. It was nothing to hide. I mean, I never felt so when I'm out in public and people see it, I don't sit back and be looking over my shoulder like who's what. I just hey, this is normal. This is my girl, and this is it. You know,
Yeah. So like vice versa, like if there was a down low guy that was interested in guys, why do you think that they make those choices? I mean, you remember, so they kind of like keep it. Do you know, like from a gay man's perspective, like a bi guy, he has a whole family, but then
right,
he goes and he messes with guys. So do you
right.
know that kind of perspective?
hmm I know people like that, and even some of my guys that have come on to me that I know. You know, they never gay guys don't seem to understand why I date trans women. It just it they would question me like why. Why don't you just I've never been so called, really I've never been attracted to anybody that looked like me. You know, when I see a man, is just another man. You know what I'm saying? Um, with trans women is different. I mean, I've been dating trans since I was in high school, and that's just what my preference was. And I just preferred uh, a woman that had a penis. That was just my preference. So I never denied, I never hid it. I never hid it from my family, And, so if I go to a family function and I bring my date, I just come in there with a date. And it's just how you carry yourself. People will pick up on your vibe if you're insecure about something. People will pick up on that. And I've never, so I never even allow people to even, do that.
Yeah.
Uh, so I mean, so yeah, I just
What would you say to somebody like male or female that's out there and they have been living for their family, their friends, and they're like I'm unhappy and I really want to live my best life without a care in the world, kind of like where you and I are.
Right.
We're living in our truth,
Right.
and we could give two F's about who cares or who has an opinion.
Right.
What would you say to those people that are out there listening?
My thing is, and that goes back to what I'm saying. Lives get ruined because when people are in relationships and they rather be, let's say, a man is married and then he really wants to be with a trans woman. The truth is, you need to be straight up and honest because you taking that woman and you're dealing with her life and you're sending her through. There's a whole lot of different things. Then there's risk of disease and risk of things you're doing, you know, and and so then when you finally decide that you get caught, let's say you get caught, now you sitting back punishing a woman who could have been going on with her life, and here you are just playing this game with her life, and you're playing these games with yourself, you know. But then again, I had another friend, and it was to him, it was just the excitement of it. He enjoyed being married, but it was just the excitement of going off into the secret world, and it was just the excitement of it that he just felt I'm doing,
Real, yeah.
yeah, yeah, you know. So, it was almost, it's like when they talk about like they legalize drugs. I think the thing, even with drugs, it's almost like it's if drugs were like hard drugs were available free, I think a lot of people would stop using it. It's the excitement of getting it, the excitement of going, sneaking. I got away with something. The height, that's it's the excitement is getting it. You know what I'm saying? And and then if it was just readily available, now you're taking the excitement out of it. The excitement is get out here. I don't want to get caught. I go, so but so something like that, I think. But you can't mess with people's lives, and you have to start living your truth and what you want and free yourself, and don't take other people on their journey with you and mess up their life, that kind of thing.
So
So
listen, I got a question or I have a statement or whatever.
okay. Mhm.
Um, I would say it's more of a question.
Okay.
So, how do you feel about men? Okay, I'm gonna speak about this particular guy, this particular situation.
Okay.
So this guy comes out online. He portrays that, he's into women. He's been dating a woman, older woman. There were questions about it, whatever. Well, he ends up getting caught having the Grinder app. And
Oh,
he says, "Oh, well, I was just using this for a storyline." And he's banned on the app, right?
okay.
But man has been caught texting, calling men that are in the community,
Mhm.
um, per his receipts on his Instagram and, of course, the app on his phone.
Okay.
What does that sound like to you? I mean, a straight guy got an app, he's banned on it, and he's using it as a storyline. He's not gay, he's not a part of the community. What are your thoughts?
I would think he's part of the community, or it's like again goes into a fetish thing. Some men will sit back and just look at uh, trans porn. You know, they'll never indulge in it. They'll never get involved with a trans woman, but they will uh, enjoy watching it, but will never do anything. It's just So I think that's what he is. He just likes. It's like somebody, like telling us, somebody telling you dirty, nasty stories, and some women can talk dirty to a guy, and he just loves the dirty talk, but will never indulge in it physically, but get off. Just I think that's what he was actually doing. It's just the fetish of uh, watching people, with these things. One day I had a guy, and I remember He
So, before we go any further, do you think that's why he got banned off the app because he wanted to get like real dirty, real raunchy, real fast?
well, I think maybe I don't know the reason he got banned so much, but I think that he probably got banned because people complained, you know, about it, and he didn't. So it's like you're just playing with games with people, you know. Um, I it was a straight guy, and he found me on Facebook, and he would always hit inbox me, ask me questions about how do you date, how are you so open about it. And I guess some days he'd be drunk at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then hit me up on Facebook and want to talk. And I'm in bed, and he's like, "Look, can you tell me some of the things you've done with trans women before?" And he would sit back and cash at me money just to talk about this. So did she ever suck your dick? Oh yeah, yeah, she did. He just wanted to hear the stories, and so when I was saying, okay, you know what, I can't do this no more. He says, look, I'll send you another $100. I'll send you another $100. Tell me some more. Just you know, there's all kind of people out there. So I think that's why. I think he got banned maybe because he was really bothering people, and he wasn't serious about getting involved. But saying it was for a project or something. But that's what I think.
So, do you think that's more of like a kink,
Yeah,
um, yeah, that will fall
totally.
under that?
Yeah, kink.
Just like phone play, the taboo talk, and
Yes.
things like that. Okay, because I mean, I was thinking about opening up a line where people can call me and I can get my talk on. You talking about $100?
It's a lot of
What's
money.
you want to hear?
Yeah, it's a lot of money in that. And they used to have those kind of lines.
Yeah.
Where 25 cents a minute or a dollar a minute or something, and you can sit back and just let a guy, talk all kind of, Spike Lee did a movie on it. Like I can't think of the name of it, but he did a movie about just that. You know, so and the thing is, a lot of men were thinking they're talking to straight women, but they're actually talking to a trans person
Hmm.
because they like the heavy voice. They love that. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah,
Umph, you know.
yeah. I like I said, I get guys hit me up a lot. They go in my inbox and want to know where can I meet them. And I started one time to start a consulting firm. Consulting.
Listen, you see what I just did? I just put me a whole banner up. Call me adults only. There's my number right there. Listen
Okay.
here. If you listen here, you just go ahead and reach on out to me, send me a text message. I'll give you the cash app. Okay.
Right,
Listen,
there you go. So,
so, so
and this
income.
guy he would call me, and I could be, having company in bed, and and he'll call me and want to hear her voice. Can I hear her voice? And she'll say hello, and he just tell me some more, tell me some more, And then next thing you know, I hear the cash app, ding, ding, ding. It was. Uh,
Right now,
yeah.
let me ask you this.
uh,
When we talking about, that ding, 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 so are there guys out there that are just gay for pay?
yeah. hmm Yep. They are, guys. Just for that. Um, everybody has fetishes, I believe. And so, the thing is, I never judge or knock anybody for their fetishes. I mean, I don't. As long as you're not messing with other people's lives and things like that. But if that's your fetish and your thing, just like the guy that was hitting me up to talk, there's reasons why he's doing that. It's I don't know why, but it's a lot of times people just afraid to pursue. Like, well, I just say, he said, well, where do you meet the girls at? Matter of fact, one of my neighbors, a friend of mine, he was my weed man,
Mhm.
and he would come, he'd come by, and then I have company, and then he'll see him when he comes in, and he's always like, he's always, macho man, all this, he never, his women, all they bragged about. And so he came back one day, and he was just like, "Oh my God, yo, she's beautiful. She's this." And then when I walked him outside, he was, "Where do you meet these girls?" And all of a sudden his thing was, "How do you meet them?" I mean, I just say the first thing to do is go find you a club where trans girls are. That's
Mhm.
the best thing, you know. And that's really why I really don't. I don't deal with the dating site so much. If I'm out of town somewhere,
Yeah.
I might, but I know too many people, and it's like I don't, I see people I know on them, just
Well,
like I
you
know.
know what? I mean, that does make sense because you are very, like you said, involved in the community with the trans girls. I know plenty of the girls that you've dated. Well, plenty
Oh
of the
wow,
girls,
really?
like a whole lot. I know a
Wow,
couple, so that's two. I know a couple of girls that you've dated, and I
wow.
know you're. When I met you, you were very open. You were very honest,
Hmm.
and I think that our brothers need to have the conversation to like, kind of know how to start because I think some of us, were with the generational misinformation and you're gonna go to hell, this, that, and the third,
Oh yeah,
and people pleasing that has nothing to do with your happiness.
right.
And I want you to elaborate a little bit more on guys and how they're both playing both sides of the fence. Like, I really want to like dig into that. Like, how do dudes keep certain things away from certain people? What are kind of like their behaviors? I know it may not be particularly you, but you've had friends, you've had people call you for advice. So if there's anything that you could share, like somebody playing both sides of the field, how dangerous is that?
Well, I can give you an example of a situation that happened. I had a friend, um, and she was staying with me for, she was in town, so she was in town for a week, and so I had one of my relatives, cousin, that was in town, and um, he had an issue with her, and I was saying, well, what's the problem? Well, when I walk in the bathroom, she got her titties out. She's this, she's that. He really had issues and saying that, I'm uncomfortable with this shit, man. I don't get down like that. And you got this in your house and shit. I'll just have to go stay someplace else. Thing is, he had hit her up on a grinder. And then she came and told me. She said, I wasn't gonna say nothing. She said, but your cousin hit me up on Grinder. And then she showed me. So his anger was he was again that down low type thing. And then he actually saw it. And then she was in his presence and he just couldn't take it. So he started creating fights with her, trying to create a situation to not, in other words, he was creating a barrier that he wanted to create because there was a part of him that wanted to come on to her when he saw her in the bathroom, see her come out the shower, and he was fighting his temptation. So what he was doing was trying to create a fight with her in a situation where he wouldn't act on it. So he was afraid, but yet when she showed me, she said he's been hitting me up on Grinder, and so when he saw her in my house, that was the issue. It was, and she didn't come out and bust him out. She only came out and told me only because he was making a big deal about her being in the house. You know, so that was one of the things. And so you got guys like that creep like the guy that got a ban from Grinder. He's probably just just you got some guys like I even hear some guys even sit back and talk about trans women so bad. and how that ain't right, it ain't real, you ain't no woman. Those are the main guys that are down low guys because they're fighting it. The Republican Party is about the gayest group of down low men in the world, you know, and they're all, and the problem is they want things to stay a secret. They don't want things to be open. They from that old school secret, thing. Those are the guys that be in the bathroom when you in the toilet and they drop shit on the floor so they can try to look under the thing. Those are the conservative guys. I had an uncle, and one thing he told me, he's like, um, we don't even know how we got on the subject of sex, but he's one of them old school guys from Mississippi, and we got to talking about sex. So I asked him about his wife. I said, "Well, does your wife ever go down on you, have oral sex?" He's like, "No, that's what prostitutes are for. I would never have my wife do that to me." That's why men have prostitutes. So that kind of thinking, your wife is too pure, so that's what a prostitute is for, to do those things that your wife wouldn't do. And I think that's psychological because you don't want your wife to do it to you because you might like it, and then in your mind she can actually satisfy other people. It's a security issue to me, you know. So, like I said, when my cousin was at the house and he saw her in the house, he was trying to fight his emotions. Like, damn, and if I wasn't probably home, he may have acted on it, but he was trying to create a friction between the two of them because he was afraid of what he might do, or afraid that she might say, to him, "Hey, look, come on, let's do something," and he'll act on it. So he had those kind of mental issues, and like I said, he's young grinder, you know, you know, and then a lot of men go on those sites just seeing what can happen, but afraid to act on it, you know. So and when I was back in high school, I understand that only because the real gay Femi boys were a turn on to me, and I had a girlfriend and all this, and but I knew then they what I really wanted, so so okay, go ahead. Mhm.
No, you can keep going. I'm gonna be listening.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty much what it really was. So, and that's kind of how things started with me, just back in high school and stuff. So, and that was my turn on then.
Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It was there's a thing in here in Atlanta called Hush Night,
Hmm.
and it's with trans exotic dancers. And me and the guy that started it, uh, the thing I learned from that is a number of straight men too. It was a place where a lot of straight men can go, and we started it in a place called the Marquette, and in the back the Marquette had like a little stripper pole back
The
there.
Marquettes.
Well, I'm from Chicago. We call it Marquette. We have a real popular street in Chicago, and it's called Marquette. But okay,
Oh,
I Marquette.
my bad.
Okay, so Marquette, uh, pe- uh, pecan. I mean, it just depends on where you're from, but when we did in the back, um, one guy came to me and he was like, "Hey, are you the promoter with this?" I said, "Yeah." So the thing is, when you came into Marquette, you got the drag shows on the front, and then to get to us, you go to the back. And he was like, "Hey man, look, I ain't into all this gay shit, man. I don't want to be coming to no club like this, and then I'm not into the drag stuff." The thing was, he was like, "Man, y'all need to be in another have a place because a lot of people like me ain't gonna come in here." Now he never identified. He identified as a straight guy. He's like you said, I'm not into the drag scene, but I'm into the trans girls. And so that's when we had to go search for a actual strip club to try to do it. And then we did it at this one club called Rumors. And when I walked into Rumors and approached them with it, these bunch of old white guys that own the club, and they call each other their friend. Hey, Frank, come in here, listen to this shit. This guy has girls that strip with dicks, and people pay to see this. Like, yeah, and they just made a big joke about it, and all that kind of stuff. But then we did it, and we were banking big, and he was saying, "Hey, you know what? I've got another club I'm opening up, and I might just let you guys have that club and just make it an all trans club." The thing we had issues with is straight strippers. Now we had our own nights. We had Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the straight strippers were still pissed about it. And so this one guy that plays for the Buffalo Bills, he lives in Atlanta, and he always comes to Rumors on Thursdays, but he had no idea that it was turned into a trans night. And he came to the door, and whenever players in town, he has all the players come in, and he got to the door and was raising pure hell about it. And so the manager came to me. He's like, "Stan, he's one of our biggest customers. We might have to kind of reconsider something. He brings all this money in here and all this." And so he came in anyway. And before the night was over, Mike comes to me, the manager. He's like, "Stan, you won't believe this shit. They're taking the trans girls home afterwards." It was, you know, they made up. My whole point is, again, he raised all that hell. Then when he came in, like, I got my guys here. They from out of town, so we just gonna have a drink. They stayed the whole night, and then when it was over with, all these guys are dating, taking the girls home. Things like that. Now as an NFL player or something like that, I can kind of understand in a way because there's an image with it. I mean, and you got to play into the image, but then again, you know, people, I couldn't live my life with that over my head, you know, and I just couldn't do it, and it just wouldn't, just so I just and it's like I said, even when I was in high school, I had girlfriends, but it was the Femi boys that really was turning me on, I mean, and
You like the fem twinks.
yeah, it was, and they, yeah, and and so even in school, you know, I would see them after school,
Mhm.
and then if I was in the hallway with my girlfriend and just ignored them totally, and they, "Hey Stan," you know, I saw, okay,
They gonna make sure you see them, baby.
yeah.
Like,
So I had to acknowledge them because I didn't want to, So how was last night? I didn't want to get into all that,
mhm.
but
So let me ask you about that right quick.
mhm.
So you were dating girls, and then you were dating fem guys back in
Mhm.
high school. But do you feel like you should have been honest with yourself, your
Oh,
girlfriend?
absolutely, totally. Oh yeah, and that's why I just started being honest with myself. Um, and because it was a time that I used to go hang with my buddies all day, and then at night I was doing something else. You
What were you
know, oh, I mean, like I like for instance, we go out to parties and stuff,
doing?
and then once I was, had my party thing with them, then there was another side. I was from Chicago, so I'd be in the city, and then there was a suburb, uh, in like what they called it was in like a town called Calumet City, and they had a real training club out there. A lot of trans girls and stuff. So when I got done my hanging with my friends, that was my main thing. I came, okay, I spent time with you guys. Now I head out there to be the real me, you know. And so uh one of my friends wanted to come with me one day, like, man, where the fuck you be going? And this is a true story for real, for real, for real. This is it. He wanted to come with me so bad. I really did not want him coming with me. And so I took him with me. And we're sitting there, now he had no idea that he was trans. We was in the club and I'm just like fidgety about it. And so he's sitting one kissing a girl. They were just kissing. He was like having a good time and we was all at the table. And they kissing and then I'm trying to hint to him like, bro. And um I guess she started feeling on him, and everything. And so within 5 minutes, I guess they start feeling each other. And next thing I know, the whole table flops up. Like, she got her dick. He jumped up and spilled all the drinks and stuff like that. And because she was feeling on him, so he started feeling down there. And then he, he felt it. And he had it was funny, but it wasn't funny because it really made him paranoid. And this was a real alpha male guy. My friend wasn't. But it opened where he knew now what I was into and he respected me a whole lot more because, it was like, because I thought our friendship was in, but it really didn't. It was better because he understood that. And then he told me, he said, like, I wish you would have just told me where we were, and that was true. He just,
But
the
as a
whole,
black man, as in your defense, as a black man, I mean, how many black men would just openly tell their homeboys, "Hey, this is what I'm into," without the backlash? Because
yeah,
I said it starts in the house. It starts in the house. So when it comes to things like that, you automatically go to, you know, what mama said, what daddy said, and you know what I'm saying. And it's like, damn, if they'll do that to me, other people out in the streets, and then you got to worry about the message going somewhere else. At least
right,
if it did happen in the house, you knew it wasn't going to leave the house because what goes on in the house stays in the house, right?
right, right. Can you just give me 1 second?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I want to run real quick.
Okay. So I think that honesty is like the best policy, and like Mystery Man said, he is very you know um comfortable walking in his truth. Nobody can use it against you if you just own it. And like I said, we all have a story, you know, but it's, are you going to continue to keep living for people that really mean good? And the reason why I say mean good, like if you don't want to see me happy, if you don't want to see me progressing, and you don't want to see me living my full potential, then you're really a distraction for me. And that goes for pretty much anybody. Um, and you gotta set those boundaries. All while, you're still respectful, but I don't think that people should I don't think people should knock the people for living in their truth. Like, you gotta take accountability for the things that you do. Okay. All right. We got Mystery Man back in the
Okay.
building. Yes. So let me say this. We're gonna be hooking up some more. We're going to be talking about some more topics. I know you said that you do have guys reaching out to you.
Mhm.
Um, I do want to have a night where we could talk about, you know, dating, trans, and just some of the issues, and eventually get me a promo code for the makeup. Um,
Oh, okay. Absolutely. We got to talk about that too.
yeah,
Definitely.
so it's just a lot of things that we're gonna have going on, but I wanted to open it up um,
Yeah.
to where we can start having uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah. It'd be good. And like I said, you and I have talked about the makeup and things before. My situation's a lot different now, you
Hmm.
know. And so and one thing about me I realized too is that um relationships work for a lot of people.
Hmm.
And I've been in a long-term relationship before, but I just that's another learning thing with myself is that it's hard sometimes to compromise on a lot of things. To
Hmm.
me, relationships are supposed to, should be enjoyed. And but like I said, things are a little different. And then you need to get into the subject one day of what they call tranny chasers and all this kind of stuff. That's a whole different ball game right
I'm glad you brought that up.
there.
I'm glad you brought that up. The tranny chasers. Oh my god. So there's several. Well, I'm yes. I think that we should have a segment on tranny
Yeah,
chasers.
absolutely.
Like seriously, that one right there. It's like they're so contradict
Mm-hmm.
contra they contradict themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like like they just go out there and spew that rhetoric, but won't it.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Yeah.
Dangerous, just dangerous. It's like, because I've had that happen. Like when I was younger, it was this dude in the neighborhood, like he had so much animosity towards me, like he wanted to just fight me. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
this time, like he was all up on me and like putting this stuff up on me. Later on that evening, he's knocking at my door saying, what's up? What?
That's like my cousin was.
Hey, under new management.
So that's how my cousin was. So yeah,
Mhm.
it was like that. So, but yeah,
I
we
think that would be a, oh my goodness. Yeah,
yeah,
that would be interesting.
okay.
So listen here. Our mystery man is going to stay anonymous and stay a mystery. We're going to do like the big reveal when we work on some things in the back. But for right now, you guys, if you are interested in seeing Mr. Mystery Man and myself come on for about an hour on certain nights, definitely let us know in the comments. This was a great starter conversation, and I feel like it's going to take off and go somewhere. So, we just testing some things out, seeing how you all like it. I see a few people in here that's really enjoying it and being informed. And once again, this is a non-judgmental space. We definitely respect our guests and those that come by. And we want to thank you for even offering up your time because it was last minute.
Yeah.
It was an idea that we believed in, and so we are.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But there's a whole lot more topics you should cover. It's a lot.
Yes.
And one last thing is, they have in Atlanta. There's a group. There's a trans group that would meet on Tuesdays,
Hmm.
and they would sit back and just, the girls would talk. And actually, that's how I really got involved with the community. I had just, I guess I would. People kind of knew, like, they always wanted to have a male perspective in their meetings.
Yeah.
So they reached out to me, and I didn't realize, like, the girls say, "Hey, we know this guy named, that he dates trans girls, and blah 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 blah." So they invited me to the meeting, And so when they had their talk conversations, I always threw the male perspective in there on why, like they'll sit back and say, "Well, this guy treating me like this because of that," and I can always relate to certain situations. When
Yeah.
I was first even dating trans girls, and just when they they when you're in the club, a guy can get drunk, he'd be drunk and all that, and he's turned on, and then you guys go home, and then the next day the alcohol wears off, the makeup comes off, and now you got a guy that's hostile now because of what he did. You know, that's happened.
Yeah.
Because a guy will sit back and he'll go to bed with what he see in the club and enjoy it. And then when the wig is off and the makeup's off, you know, now he's looking at somebody different. He's sober now. He's got a woman at home. It's just a lot of shit building up in him for what he did. And a lot of times that can turn violent, you
Mm.
know. And I've seen that situation happen with a girl that, the guy was all into her, and then the next day, you know, he was ready to try to kill her because of
Oh,
what he did. Because once the makeup and everything came off, that wasn't what he saw in the club. And so they would ask me things about that. And I understand those situations too, because I've been there like, God, I hope when her makeup come off, when I wake up in the morning, she's still attractive, you
yeah.
know. But I've been dating girls so long that I understand those things. So when it's the person I'm with, not the get up, the makeup and the hair, it's the
Right.
person. So when all that comes off, you still the same to me.
But
I
that
don't.
plays a big part, when the individual is down low, it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, absolutely.
makeup has to be on point. Oh, it's like I
Right.
feel like dating the down low guy is like dating an army sergeant or a warden of a, organization because it's like you gotta have this and they'll be on it. And
Right. Right.
it's
Right.
instead of you, where we are now, comfortable, have some experience, and we understand from different points of views because at one point in time, those were our points of views, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, if, these were our standards, but yeah, but I think like once we know better, we do better, and we
Yes.
start educating one
Right.
another because there's been so many times where our sisters have went to glory
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
over these heinous things. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
mental health is real.
Right. It is. It really is. And
Do
like
you
I
want
said,
to? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
one girl I was in a relationship with, she really woke me up to something. And she said something to me one day, because I guess I wasn't sensitive to a lot of things. And she just looked me in my face. She said, do you know how hard it is for me to be me? She said, you can get up every day in the morning, put on your clothes, put your pants on, and just walk and go do what you got to do. She says, I have to go through what I feel in the morning with my makeup and my clothes, and then go on the street and get stared at, get poked, made fun of. She says, I go through all these things. It's easy for you to be you. You don't know how hard it is for me to be me and what I go through every day. And it just hit me like, damn, she's right. It takes a lot of fucking courage for her to be her and to live like that,
Yeah.
and family disowning you and all these things. And it really made me more sensitive to the community. It really did. So I understand a whole lot of things that go on with the girls and stuff, So, but I just prefer uh trans women. That's and I just prefer to date them, and so, and a couple
Thank you.
people that
Oh,
that dated me, I'm curious to see what they said about me.
so listen, I was going to ask you. So, is it okay for us to drop the link in case anybody might want to come up, maybe ask a question or two?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay with
Yeah.
that? Okay, so we're going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up. We do have the call in number, which is on the screen 405 437 4865. If you want to ask a question or two before we take out of here, that'd be fine. If not, if you would prefer to just like leave a comment, that's fine too, because we can always rediscuss when we come back. We'll read some of the comments. Okay, so Black Blonde says, Girl Six, great combo. Thanks so much.
Girl
Grandma.
Six was a movie. That was a Spike Lee movie I was talking about.
Oh, Girl Six.
About the phone sex, yeah.
Oh,
That was a Girl Six.
okay. Hey, Quito Chat. Hey, welcome. It says, send. Can somebody tell me if this link is working? Yes, the link is working now. Great show. Okay, so we did drop the link. Um, were you able to get it under new management? Let's see. Grandma, please like and share. I sub to you. Thank you, Bill. Bless your little heart, Grandma. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, friend unalived himself. Oh, your friend unalived himself? Damn.
Okay.
Right, it's hard for him. Okay, so I did put the link down.
Okay.
If I want to come up, feel free to. We'll be here for like we'll give it like 10 seconds. Um, but this was a great engagement. I want to do it. I don't know. We can talk about it, but like um I'm getting excited about it, you know, just the different things that we're gonna talk about, like you were saying, like the training chasers.
Right.
Okay, we under new management in the building.
Hello, hello, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Hello, Miss Tossa.
Hello, how are you? And good to see you.
I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm just getting here. Basically, I apologize for that. But I wanted to ask you, brother, you might even talked about it already. I'm not sure.
It's okay.
Are you married or, have kids or anything?
No, I'm not married. I have a son. And that was I had him back when I just got out of high school, and that
Oh,
was
okay.
yeah. He's grown now, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, do he know your preference?
oh yeah.
Oh,
Matter of
good.
fact, I was a single parent, so I actually
Oh,
raised,
okay.
and I was living with a girl, and I was always afraid of that situation, that how he would think.
Mm-hmm.
He's like
Right.
9 years old, and she would, kind of go out her way to make sure that she was always looking feminine all the time around. But one
Right.
thing is you can't hide. Kids know more than you think they know. And
Oh,
one
yeah.
he had a group of friends over, and she had been in the house, and I had came in, and I heard one of his friends say, his dad dates RuPaul, and I just kind of blew me away, like,
Say
oh,
that again. I didn't
he's
hear that. Say that. Say that
one of his
again.
friends when I came in the house. One of his friends was there, seeing her, and his friend was saying to all the other guys, "Hey, y'all, you know his dad dates RuPaul," and made that
Hmm.
statement. And I was just like, "Oh, damn! I hope my son don't get into a fight." And then my son
Yeah.
was just cool with it. He said,
That's
"Take your mama and put it against my dad's girlfriend, and let's see who people think is RuPaul."
all right now.
Yes,
Well, that's awesome, brother.
yeah,
And that's good that you're not hiding what your preference from your son. Big
right.
ups to you.
Yeah, he
Big
respect
ups to you.
that way. He would not respect me near, like we're like best friends now, and he would not,
Mm-hmm.
had I been trying to hide it,
Right.
and you
Right.
know, yeah, he's got much respect for it.
Yeah.
And
That's great. That's
in
great.
fact, he works in music. He works with a lot of the girls in the music
Okay.
and gives them advice. and tell the
Hmm.
girls, one thing about when y'all write music, stop writing about things you don't know about being a bad bitch, bad this. He said,
Right.
let's and I know nothing about trans women. And your music make me want to know what trans women are about. Write about
Hmm.
your experiences. Like I'm
Yeah.
to it. So explain to me about the trans life. And that's how he would explain it to them. Hey, that's how you do your music. Don't be fake.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I thank you for answering my question, and I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
thanks for having me up, Tulsa. And good luck to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
I am. Thank you.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you. Under the management, you guys get on over to
See.
under management and give her a subscribe and help her get her subscribers. She needs about 50 so she can go live.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that was a great engagement.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm glad the question got answered because I was like, I didn't want to ask it, and I was like, if it comes up, it comes up.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, we're very open and honest around here.
Yeah.
So this is what you get, you all. If you all enjoy this, make sure you let your friends know that we have a new chronicles going on here, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we can head on out, and then I'm gonna hit you up on the back end. Any
Okay.
last words to the people before you take out?
Hey, I enjoyed it. I'm I'm glad I came on and everything, and I like the positive comments and everything, and so that's what's up. And I hope that my conversation kind of shed some light on some things that maybe some people are thinking about.
Got you. Um, I want to thank you so much for coming by
Oh yeah.
uh, to hang out and also inform and being vulnerable and trusting me with the platform. You know,
Hmm.
because people will try to people will say one thing and do another. So I just want to thank you for trusting me to do the right thing when
Hey,
nobody was.
well, I
Um,
mean,
yeah. Well, it's about doing business, and then I want more people to see, like, it's okay to do business and be kind and be open and protect the people that come on your platform.
yeah,
So I definitely, like I said, want to thank you again for coming over.
yep.
And this concludes our broadcast, y'all.
All right.
It
Thank you
was
all. Goodbye.
all
Bye.
right. All right, there you have it, guys. Um, Drop it in a comment and we'll definitely get to your question. Who was that? Black Blonde. We will answer it in the comments, but you all make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you let somebody know that we were live. And listen, always remember to trust in the higher power, trust your gut feeling, and do for you. Like, love yourself. Um, and I don't know how many times to say it, but if you feel like you need the mental health assistance, go out, get the help that you deserve. I can say that I'm an advocate for mental health. I've been through some things. I'm very vulnerable. I want to take us on a ride to where we're elevating, we're being educated, and if there's anything that you would like for us to talk about or discuss, please drop it in the comment section. We want this to be a safe place where everybody can come and express how you feel. All right. On that note, I'm your host, Queen Tosa, and this concludes our broadcast. So long.